Mike Alcoholic. I'm in sober living too. I've been there most of my life. I've been in recovery most of my life. And I highly recommend it to anybody that's in here. And sober living has to do with living day to day, staying in the center of this program. You know, we say there's no middle of the road solution, but the only solution I've found is to stay in the middle of this road, because when I get close to the edge, I could fall off. And you don't have to come around here very long to start seeing people staying right on the edge, doing just enough to get by. Ain't nothing wrong today. Ain't it grand the wind stopped blowing? I think I'll just put that step work off another day. And the truth is I'm not guaranteed another day. Today is the day, and what am I going to do today to keep what I've been given? Everybody has a grace period. I had mine. I think it's shorter or longer for some folks. The newness of it all, the new people. You get a couple of girls' phone numbers, you know, they're going to Shoney's. You ain't had a big boy strawberry pie, if you remember that. You're old as me. They used to go to Shoney's. There ain't Shoney's no more. But just because there ain't Shoney's, that don't mean people ain't doing things after meetings, and sometimes the meeting after the meeting is just as important. I think the lesson, and the person I think that just shared before me, it was really illustrative of the two stories that we've been referring to in this meeting, Jim and Fred's story. We read Fred's story. Jim was before it. And those two stories are in the book to show me a simple truth. And if I look at those two stories, they were two guys who got approached by Bill and Bob, and they told them about their drinking, and the guys admitted they had it, and then they both said, "Thanks for the information," and they went off and got drunk. That's exactly what those stories are. And the information that was put in those stories, the word self-knowledge was used in both stories to illustrate the definition of self-knowledge that Bill gave in page 7 of his story, which was he was given the understanding of the first step and he didn't go any farther and he got drunk. So the lesson from those two stories is just the comfort that comes from understanding that I'm an alcoholic and, oh, I see what I'm doing now, and not going any further. It's no wonder those two guys got drunk. So the lesson is, hey, how about understand the first step and go on with the rest of the steps so you don't have to be like Fred and Jim and risk not getting the opportunity to come back and try again. Because I'm not guaranteed an opportunity to come back. When the doctor and the doctor's opinion said, and this is pretty bold, I mean, you know, they left it in there, back when they spoke boldly, back when they weren't afraid to offend or disturb some folks. I think it was Mark that said that. Because it does say on 94, perhaps you have disturbed him. This is good. When you rattle somebody's cage, it'll wake them up and make them listen to what you're saying. If somebody was patting me on the head when I got here and said, "It's okay, baby, everything you think is okay, you're right where you're supposed to be," I think I'd probably be dead. Somebody had to say, "Hey, maybe the opposite, maybe what shake me up a little bit." But when the doctor in his opinion says, once this psychic change has occurred, the very same alcoholic finds himself easily able to control his desire for alcohol. Now, how in the hell can he say that? What does that mean? He finds himself easily able to control his desire. Once something's happened, he finds himself easily able to control his desire for alcohol. Now, how can he be so blasphemous as to say that some kind of change has made this person able to control his desire? Well, I think that so much is implied with that statement. When he says the guy finds himself easily able to control his desire, he was aware of the program. He was aware that the process that these people were going through. He was aware they were going to Oxford group meetings every night. He was aware they were working with people. There was things these guys were doing, like Leslie was saying, on a daily basis. It's not just that the guy had an epiphany and he went off into the sunset and never talked to another alcoholic, never went to another meeting, never read another piece of literature, and just miraculously, like the lady was saying, easily able. No. Part of that easily able is realizing that if I do these things, And I stay in the center of this wagon wheel, and I choose to work these steps, and I choose to come to these meetings, and I choose to help others when I can. All of that puts me in that place where I'm easily able. And here's what's interesting. When I do those things, I don't have to worry about being easily able to control my desire, because I don't even have the desire. It's been removed, okay? If I'm in a situation where I'm tempted and I'm saying, should I go get this drink or not, I generally don't have time to play the tape out. I've already decided. I'm already obsessed. The real gift of this program is not having to battle and do that mental mind game about going through what it's going to end up being. That's why the effort of going through the rest of the steps, which obviously Fred and Bill and Jim did not do. That's why they went and got drunk and came back with their tail tucked between their legs and say, hey, Bill and Bob, can you help me again, bro? And then the process they took him through snuffed out the conviction. But he didn't have it snuffed out before when he just had the first step and said, I'll see you. Thanks for the information. I'll just be on guard. See, the lesson is he knows that somebody reading that book is going to be going, oh, is that what's wrong with me? Let me just lay the book down, turn it into a coaster, which is what most people do. And let me just go on and head on out and forget there's all those other chapters and all those other steps that make me easily able to control my desire. Now, we could debate whether we get some power. I believe 11th step talks about that I'm asking God to help me properly use some power. So at some point in there, something happens. There's a transformation. We can agree on this or disagree. The ones that disagree will be gone soon, and that's my observation. We have to agree that this is the way out. There's many other ways. There's better living through chemistry. That you can get incarcerated and you can go kick a cop and get sober for a night. But for me, this is about being reasonably happy and have a satisfactory existence. Not having somebody check me at bed check. Not having to pee in a cup. Not having to be afraid of the cops when they're behind me anymore. We're talking about true freedom here. This goes so far beyond the substance, it's not even funny. I realized I was focusing on the substance as the problem. The problem was me. And once I work these steps and start to fix me, I realized I didn't need that shit all along, and now I don't want that shit. When I got here, I could not fathom a day off of it because I had not done anything not using. But now I cannot fathom a day sitting in that bar, that dark bar, that smell that I still remember with those people that I used to call my friends, not one of which came to see me in treatment. See, these steps have given me some perspective about what I was thinking was all wrong. And we say the best thinking got us here. My best thinking on drugs and alcohol got me here. Let's be clear now. I've experienced my best thinking since I've been here. But it's with the steps and with God. And I realize that, as somebody has already said, these steps have not taken anything away from me. They've given me the opportunity for everything. But the key word there is opportunity. I have to take that opportunity because I can't give it to you and you can't give it to me. Each person has to make the choice. I've had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, and I'll pass.